But let's get some trading strategies. Mayuresh Joshi is joining us. Mayuresh, as always, start with what's happening in the index. What would you recommend for someone looking in the markets today?
Good morning. I think clearly what is happening with China is taking effect on the Indian markets as well. Clearly, I think one needs to understand that at least from a fundamental perspective, you are going to look at how the budget session pans out over the next few weeks and the probability of how earnings are shaping up. But again, I think if you have a larger picture or a larger canvas within the Nifty itself, I think IT is largely going to underperform. Banks might need to clean up their balance sheets. Capital goods might underperform because of order flows not coming through, execution issues cropping up. So clearly, I think a large component of the Nifty earnings are going to underperform for the better part of Q3 and Q4. So you're probably looking at the market staying in the range. And clearly, I think the international factors are going to ensure that the range in the markets continue for some length of time and the volatility continues. So the range that we're probably talking about of 7,500 to 8,200 for the last few months, I think it should still persist over the next few months.
Okay, I want to talk about metals and what's really happening there. Mayuresh, you're seeing a lot of momentum across the metal counters from the large cap space. Tata Steel, Hindalco, all of your stocks have been rallying. But do you have a strategy that you have on any of these metal counters?
So clearly, I think at least at this point of time, if you look at the classical case of demand-supply, probably not in favor of the metal counters. Realizations probably still remaining weak. You're probably not looking at demand offtake picking up in the way that one really expects a lot of these ferrous and non-ferrous counters to probably perform. So in that sense itself, I think the metal counters will see some amount of weakness, at least for the next quarter or two. And again, I think it's more a cyclical recovery that one is really looking at, which is not going to happen so soon. So again, I think it's more of a trading bounce in my opinion, but I think the fundamentals still remain weak for a lot of these metal counters.
Banking is one more sector that we are looking at closely. A lot of your large cap banking names are under pressure today, but if you look at the bank Nifty, that's about 0.7% lower as we speak. Would you have a strategy going on any of the banking counters?
So clearly, I think the banks are rather underperforming. But clearly, if you have a larger time frame, our take still remains the same. I think the larger private sector banks, and again, I think a clutch of this is what we probably look at this point of time, rather than looking at one bank. So again, I think the top private sector names like an ICICI, Axis, HDFC, yes, I think if all these banks are looked at not in the clutch, I think my opinion is that at least the asset quality pressures that one really expects to cascade on the PSU part, I think the private space should hold out on that front. And again, I think if you look at the other parameters related to capital adequacy, the branch network, the operating leverage benefits or the operating efficiency should play out on the private space. So clearly, I think a clutch of these banks on declines is something that we're looking at. But again, I think we remain optimistic on the private space.
Infrastructure, you have quite a few of your infra companies winning orders, and MBL Infra is in focus today. It's won 2 orders worth about 6 odd billion rupees. Yesterday we were in conversation with the management of IRB Infra. They've won a mega deal, 10,000 odd crores. Do you have any picks from the infra space, or how's that sector as a theme looking to you?
Really, I think if I club infrastructure, stroke construction, and then put in road developers in that, asset owners in that, we're probably looking at a very stock-specific approach. Yes, I think the orders are probably coming through, but what really needs to be seen is how the execution of these orders happen. And the cash flows, again, would come after some length of time. So it's not an immediate effect that will be evident on the balance sheet of a lot of these companies. Having said that, probably, I think as a team, we've been liking the EPC players. The company that you probably mentioned, MBL Infra, is one company that you're probably liking at this point of time within this entire space, along with KNR Constructions. Our own take is that the order flows should increase, and companies which have a better execution track record, along with a manageable balance sheet in terms of how the leverage is, I think these companies should perform exceedingly well going forward. So again, on the larger names, I think L&T, though it is underperformed, it might underperform over the next few months. Our take is that it is looking much better in terms of the capex recovery theme, along with the non-core asset sales that the company is looking at. And within the mid-cap names, I think EPC guys like an MBL and KNR Construction is something that you're probably liking at this juncture.
All right, Mayuresh, thank you so much for speaking with us. That's some stock-specific views coming in from Mayuresh Joshi. This even as the markets are at the day's lowest point. You have a sell-off continuing on both the Nifty and the Sensex, 0.2% lower. On the Nifty, losing the 7,800 mark that it had ended yesterday with, and the Sensex is also 0.2% lower. Take a quick break. On the other side, we'll connect with Beena Engineer, the whole-time director of Sanghi Industries, to get an outlook for 2016. To stay tuned.